You're listening to Moviesucktastic.
Sounds like some bad movie.
Do you think you could do your review of Paranormal Activity 4 in 5 minutes or less?
Maybe 5 or 6. Yeah.
Okay.
Paranormal Activity 4, on the other hand, not a big fan of the first 3 films, okay? Obviously. I liked the first film because I felt they did something original. Okay.
Yes, until they redid it 3 more times.
Right. Now, I did not like 2 and 3, obviously. However, what I will give them credit for is the first film was original as far as they did something that nobody else was doing, and it was a while since we had anything like Blair Witch, so give them that much credit. They pulled it off. They pulled it off on a low budget.
Okay.
Paranormal Activity 2 and 3, even though they rehashed the same idea, each time they reinvented something to good effect. For part 2, they put it was the security camera, so it was blinking back and forth, and they used that to effect. Well,
okay.
Part 3, they had the thing where we're going back to the 70s now, so he puts the camera on the fan thing, and it's tilting back and forth, so we have the camera moving on a regular pace. They used that to a certain effect. They did new things in each one, where okay, this time this happened, so you're trying to figure out, what's going to happen? Is this going to happen? Is that going to happen? And it was always something to good effect. Something new was always in there. Even though most of it was rehashed, they managed to do something new. What the fuck happened with part 4? I have a theory that they're pocketing the money. I seriously think, because the budget, I think you said the budget stayed the same each one. It's like $5 million for each one.
It's they're pretty close. I mean, they go up a little bit.
Part 4, they
did the same. They did the same thing in with the Saw series. They knew to keep the budget low,
right,
so that they'd always make a profit.
But even though the budget was low, you could see where they were using it. As far as like the second and third film, because the first one obviously, but the second and third film, there was it's a small budget. It was still put to use. You could see places like, okay, we did this, we did that. Third film, we did this, we did that. They're pocketing the fucking money. Somebody attached to this. I guarantee you, there are 2 sets of books. Go back. Someone, one of the producers or all of them are pocketing that fucking money. None of it's making it to the screen. Not only do they do nothing, the only original thing in this one is it's webcams on the laptop.
Yeah, they did that.
Now here's how bad it is. Not only did they do that, they still have people walking around holding the cameras. We've got scenes where people are filming themselves doing stuff when there's no reason to. They're not documenting anything. They're just using a camera. They did that. They did that a bit in part 2, where it was like, why the fuck are you filming yourself talking to your teenage daughter, you freak?
Okay.
In 2 and 3, where you had like the scene where like everything came out of the cabinets, the one where everything's in the ceiling and all that. It's everything scaled back in part 4. In this one, it's like, the chair moved. And then, wow, the chair moved. Okay, so they're leading up to something big? No, that's it. The knife the mother's using, it goes up with her back's turned. Where's my knife? And you're like, okay, now what's going to happen? What's going to happen? No, that's it. What do you mean? That's it. That's it. Even the way people are killed, because it's Paranormal Activity. People die. People are dying at the end. You know that. It's fucking fact. It's the same goddamn ways. Head, snap the neck. It's all fucking repeats. The only thing they do that's kind of original is they do the thing with the Xbox Kinect.
The Kinect. I saw that. You know what? And that's, to me, that is more product placement and whoring out.
Easily so. But here's how bad it is.
It looked bad in the trailer when they were doing it.
it's so bad they don't even stick to anything because first of all, he does it with you have to have the night vision on.
Right.
Then when they set up with the camera there, apparently the camera has the ability to turn the night vision on and off automatically when you turn the lights off. I didn't know cameras did that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even do it consistently. There's one scene where it doesn't do it right. It doesn't. There's no correcting. In a found footage film, the idea is the footage is found afterwards and then edited together so you can get a complete story. This is a found footage film where they actually have jump cuts that obscure things that happened in the story. Like something happens off screen, and you're like, but wait a minute, the camera was still on in that room. The cameras aren't turning off. So there's coverage of what happened in that room. We're just not going to show you. Whoever put this together decided we're not going to show you that part because at least in part 2, when the cameras are switching back forth, it's supposed to be the way you would if you had 4 cameras hooked to one monitor.
Right.
So you're only seeing, and then with the camera moving back and forth, okay, we're purposely doing this so you're only going to see what the camera sees. The cameras are seeing everything in part 4, but it's edited so you don't see certain things. Why the fuck would you do that? And also, let's forget the fact that the 2 kids involved are recording everything happening in this house, and for some reason aren't watching the tapes and aren't showing anybody. Dad doesn't believe me. Really? Because I just saw a video of what you were talking about, and it's pretty fucking convincing. Why isn't Dad listening to you? Oh, because she didn't show him the fucking video. And I'll tell you right, I'm going to ruin this for you. This is a spoiler alert, but you're not going to care.
I haven't seen the second or third film.
I say you, I mean the audience.
Okay.
You're not going to care when you watch the film, so
no,
you're not going to ruin this for you. You're introduced to a kid at the beginning that you think is Hunter, which is the kid that
was kidnapped in the second film.
Correct. In the second film, at the end, they kidnapped. So it's supposed to be an older Hunter. The twist halfway through, which isn't really a twist because it's just fucking stupid, is that it's not the strange kid across the street who's Hunter. It's the kid in his family who was apparently adopted. So here's the question. Why the fuck did she kill her sister's entire family and kidnap the kid only to somehow put it up for adoption? Come back like 3 years later, 4 years later, and then kill a whole family and take it again. And I did research on this. I was like, okay, maybe I'm missing something. And there are apologists for this film who say, no, what happened was, if you listen carefully to the film, which I don't know why you do that, the whole idea was this kid, he had to be raised in a pure environment. So he had to be in a family that was pure to prepare him for the ceremony they're going to do for the boy. It's like, oh, okay, so they had to get adopted so he could be raised by a normal family, like her sister's family, who kidnapped the kid in the first fucking place. It's beyond and there was even an interview. The MTV interview asked them, why would she kill her family and kidnapped Hunter only to have him adopted in another family so she had to get him from them later. And what their answer was, well, I guess that's a question that'll have to be answered in another film. No, it won't. No, that's not how you do it. You don't put gaps in logic in a film and say, oh, we'll do it in the sequel. No. You lay hints and clues. You don't give me an idiot plot hole I can drive a truck through and say, oh, that's just, that's another story for another time. No, it's not. It's this story now.
Yes, it is.
While since I've been physically angry after watching a film, this is one of them.